Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to this case study presentation on Operation Car Wash 2014, which is one of the most significant corruption investigation in Brazil's history. The followings are the group members, which including me as the first presenter, which is Nur Amali Sofia binti Misri. So in this case study, we will dive deeper into the case background, offense committed, and also the effects on individual or organization, whether it's positive or negative, also the lessons learned. First and foremost, the case background of the Operation Car Wash, Operação Lava Jato. So Operation Car Wash was a popular anti-corruption investigation in Brazil that started in 2014. First of all, it involved the state-run oil company Petrobras, also large construction firms, and politicians. They become one of the biggest corruption scandals in Brazil's history with global repercussion. So why is it called car wash? So first of all, the investigation only began at a small car wash and gas station in Brasilia. Unfortunately, the police investigate that the location was used as a front for laundering money. That's why it is called Operation Car Wash. So what happened? The investigation started with only the small-scale money laundering, but quickly revealed a widespread corruption network. So at its core, it only involved Petrobras and Brazil's state-owned oil company and also major construction company such as Odebrecht. So these companies overchanged Petrobras for construction project and the extra money given to Petrobras executive and politician as bribe. So what do they do with the funds? They do it for finance political campaign and also their own personal enrichment. So who was involved in this case? First of all, Petrobras. Executives accepted bribes in exchange for awarding inflated contracts to construction companies. That is Petrobras. The second one is construction companies. So companies like Odebrecht and Camargo Urea paid bribes to win the contract. Odebrecht even had a secret division dedicated to handling bribe payment. And the third one is the politician. So and a lot of high-ranking officials, including senators, governors, and former president, were involved in this case. So again, politicians across different parties use the fund to finance their own political campaign and gain influence and also their own personal enrichment.
Now, I am going to talk about the offense committed in the Operation Car Wash. So, Operation Car Wash or Operação Lava Jato started in 2014 as a small inquiry into money laundering. What began as a localized investigation quickly expanded to uncover the systemic corruption involving Petrobras, which is Brazil's state-controlled oil company. This scheme implicated numerous high-ranking politicians, business leaders, and political parties, revealing how deeply entrenched corruption was in Brazil's political and corporate systems. So here's how the scheme worked. Executive at Petrobras collaborated with major construction companies to inflate the value of government contracts. These inflated funds, essentially overpayments, were then funneled as bribes. The bribes were distributed to politicians and political parties to finance elections, campaigns, or for their own personal gain. So to hide the illegal money, they launder it through foreign accounts, shell companies, and also intermediaries. Next, we move on to the key offenses. So the key offenses uncovered during Operation Car Wash include the first one is bribery, which is large sums of money were paid to secure lucrative government contracts. Next, we have money laundering, which is there are complex schemes were used to hide the illicit origins of the funds. Last one is fraud, which the contracts were intentionally overpriced, inflating costs for taxpayers and benefiting only those involved in the scheme.
Hi, I'm Putri Nur Edina Balkis binti Syarah Azlan. So I have listed a few positive and negative effects for both individuals and the organization. So now let's take a look at the individuals. So first of all, they can get immediate financial gains. So what does this mean? So basically, employees and business owners may benefit financially in short term from engaging in corrupt practices, such as paying or receiving bribes to avoid taxes, fines, and also regulations. Not just that, workers can also receive cash payments or informal bonuses for bypassing legal requirements or delivering faster services to clients, and hence these can lead to increase in personal income. Now moving on to the second one, which is the operational ease. So we all know that corruption could make certain operational challenges easier. For instance, like paying bribes to local authorities might result in fast approval of necessary permits to allow the businesses to run without legal obstacles. Next, moving on to the organization. So first of all, it can cause rapid expansion. In some cases, corrupt practices may accelerate the growth of a business. For instance, paying off officials could facilitate the access to prime locations or easier zoning approvals, and these enable the car wash to expand faster than the other competitors. Next is it can cause cost reduction. So basically, like car wash businesses might save on operational costs by evading taxes, environmental fees, or compliance costs through corrupt means. Bribing inspectors or officials to overlook violations can also lead to reduced overhead and greater profitability. Now, moving on to the negative effects for both individuals and the organizations. So first of all, it can affect the health and also can lead to a few safety risks. So corruption may lead to the negligence of important health and also the safety regulations, since the workers may be exposed to harmful chemicals, unsafe working conditions, and a lack of proper protective gear because the business owners bypass the safety laws through bribes or by ignoring them altogether. So these can increase the risk of injury or illness among the employees. Next is it can affect the job instability. So if the authorities crack down on corrupt activities, the businesses may close and the workers might lose their jobs or the operations might be shut down. Lastly, for the organizations, it can lead to reputation damage. So basically, if customers or the public become aware that a car wash is operating through corrupt means, it can severely damage the business reputations. Because customers, they prefer to do business with companies that uphold ethical standards. So a reputation for corruption can lead to loss of customers, negative publicity, and a decline in business. And lastly, it can cause vulnerability to government crackdowns. Because governments decide to take a stricter stance on corruption could subject businesses involved in bribery or illegal activity to unexpected crackdown. So these could lead to fines, closures, or the loss of business license, and in extreme cases, criminal charges against the business owners or employees involved in corrupt practices. That's all from me. Thank you.
Lessons that we can learn from the Operation Car Wash in Brazil 2014 is empowering independent judiciary and law enforcement agencies is important for combating corruption. The judicial system played a vital role as an independent judiciary was instrumental in prosecuting powerful individuals. This highlights how important it is to have the judicial system operate separately from any political body, as any interference will ultimately result in bias during the court trial and prevent the wrongdoers from receiving the appropriate punishment or even evade them together. This leads us to another crucial lesson, which is the importance of whistleblowing and investigative journalism. The operation was catalyzed by whistleblowers and investigative journalists who expose irregularities, which highlight the need for protective laws and support for independent journalism to uncover the malpractices. The law and the media need to work hand in hand in combating corruption and ensuring none of the people who dare to misuse their powers caught away freely. Besides, public awareness and pressure play a significant role in driving accountability. During Operation Car Wash, protests and public outrage forced leaders to hold wrongdoers accountable. Clear information and media coverage also keep the public engaged and demand lasting change. Transparency and public accountability are amongst the most valuable tools to sustain investigation. The public, the people need to know for their money that actually should be used to ease the life quality is instead is used for the wrongdoers' own greedy importance. corruption will cause significant economic costs by wasting money, scaring off investors, and slowing progress. The key industries suffered, leading to unemployment and financial trouble. It also takes money away from public services, making life harder for ordinary people. It undermined the economic growth, as evidenced by the severe damage to Brazil's economy, tarnishing its reputation. Operation Car Wash was illustrated the importance of international cooperation, giving the cross-border nature of corruption, as funds and illicit activities often involve multiple countries, and strengthening international legal frameworks is essential for tracking and recovering the funds. The private sector was implicated, with major corporations like Petrobras involved, demonstrating that private sector is a significant driver of corruption. To combat this, robust corporate governance, mandatory compliance programs, and severe penalties for corporate misconduct are necessary. Finally, the long-term nature of systemic corruption requires sustained efforts. While Operation Car Wash achieved significant outcomes, ongoing reform is necessary. Long-term commitment to anti-corruption measures, coupled with regular assessment and adaptation, is essential for building trust in institutions and reducing corruption.